On May 30th, 1958, the Indianapolis 500 was getting underway at the legendary Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Among the 33-car field was 33-year-old Pat O'Connor, driving an Offenhauser-powered Curtiss Craft, a typical Formula car of the era, capable of reaching speeds of approximately 140 miles per hour. The cars were barely in the starting line when they got close. Suddenly, a massive crash erupted, with the racers' cars spinning, some flying off the track. Pat tried to squeeze past the other cars, but another driver spun in front of him. The cars collided, and Pat's car was thrown upward by the impact and flipped, landing directly on his head. In 1958, cockpits were open, protection was minimal, and seatbelts were just beginning to be implemented. The car caught fire, trapping the driver inside. The race was immediately stopped, but the injuries were fatal. Pat O'Connor died right at the start of America's most prestigious race. This incident became one of the key arguments in favor of mandatory seatbelts and changes to starting procedures in formula racing. On July 7, 1968, during the French Grand Prix at the fast and dangerous Rouen-les-Essarts circuit, 40-year-old Frenchman Joe Schlesser started the race for the Honda team. He was driving an experimental Honda RA302 car, built using a magnesium monocoque, an extremely lightweight material that is deadly when ignited. Speeds on the track exceeded 150 miles per hour. On one of the high-speed sections, Schlesser lost control. The car was thrown off the track and struck an embankment. Almost instantly, the car burst into flames. The magnesium ignited at the extreme temperature, and the fire could not be extinguished by conventional means. Marshals and medics were powerless. The flames resisted both water and foam. The race was stopped, but it was too late to help the driver. Joe Schlesser died instantly. Following this accident, Honda immediately scrapped its Formula One program, and the use of magnesium in car construction was effectively discontinued. This was a rare case of an engineering decision directly contributing to a driver's death. On October 6, 1973, during qualifying for the United States Grand Prix at Watkins Glen, 29-year-old Francois Sever, a Tyrrell driver and teammate of Jackie Stewart, attacked at the limit. His Tyrrell 006 was passing the high-speed S's at approximately 170 miles per hour. Sever hit the inside curb. The car instantly spun and crashed at an angle into the metal barrier. The impact was so powerful that the car was almost completely destroyed. The race was stopped immediately. Medics arrived quickly, but his injuries were fatal. Francois Sever died instantly, just a day before the start of the race. His death shocked the entire paddock. Jackie Stewart, who was scheduled to compete in his 100th and final race the following day, refused to start and retired. Severt's death marked one of the milestones after which Formula One truly began to change its approach to safety. August 1st, 1969, practice session before a round of the European Formula 2 Championship, Nurburgring, Nordschleife, Germany. 30-year-old Gerhard Mitter, a German racing driver and one of the fastest drivers of his generation in Junior Formula Series, was at the wheel of a BMW F269, powered by a 2-liter BMW engine. The Nordschleife of the late 1960s featured 22 kilometers of narrow asphalt, elevation changes, forests, minimal runoff zones, and a near-total absence of barriers. During a fast lap, Mitter's car lost control on one of the track's high-speed sections. According to one confirmed theory, a suspension or steering failure occurred, but the exact technical cause was never officially determined. The car veered off the track and struck a tree off the road. The impact occurred at high speed and proved fatal. Gerhard Mitter died instantly before medical help arrived. The tragedy had a rare and grim context. Just a few weeks earlier, Mitter had been involved in a serious accident on the same track, but had returned to the wheel despite concerns about the car's safety. Mitter's death was further proof that the Nurburgring, in its current form, was too dangerous even for professional racing drivers. His death increased pressure on the organizers and became part of a long chain of events that led to the gradual abandonment of the Nordschleife by Formula One and Formula 2. September 10, 1978, marks the start of the Italian Grand Prix at the Monza circuit. 34-year-old Ronnie Peterson, a Lotus driver, is in the field, driving a Lotus 78 with downforce. The Monza start straight is one of the fastest in the world, with cars reaching speeds of 180 miles per hour even before the first turn. At the start, a chain reaction of collisions occurred. Peterson was trapped between cars. His Lotus hit the barrier and burst into flames. He was rescued from the cockpit and initially appeared to have survived, conscious and breathing normally. However, Peterson suffered multiple leg fractures. Delays in transportation and complications led to a fat embolism, a life-threatening condition in which bone marrow particles enter the bloodstream. On the morning of September 11th, 1978, Ronnie Peterson died in a Milan hospital. His death was one of the most tragic in Formula One history. The driver survived the accident but died from the effects of his injuries and the shortcomings of the medical system at the time. It was July 31st, 1954, during qualifying for the German Grand Prix at the Nurburgring Nordschleife, the longest and most dangerous Formula One circuit of the time. 30-year-old Onofre Marimon, an Argentine driver and representative of the Maserati team, was driving a Maserati 250F, one of the fastest cars of the season. During a fast lap, Marimon attacked one of the most challenging sections of the Nordschleife. At high speed, the car lost stability, went off the track, and went down an embankment descending from the road surface. Beyond the asphalt, there were no barriers or protective zones, only a steep slope. The car rolled several times and came to a stop at the bottom of the embankment. The impact was fatal. Marimon suffered fatal injuries and died at the scene before medical help arrived. He became the first driver in Formula One history to die during a World Championship weekend. The Nurburgring tragedy became a symbol of the early era of motorsport, a time when tracks were laid out on ordinary roads and a mistake at speed meant a direct plunge into the void. July 3, 2012, Duxford Aerodrome, UK. Maria De Villota, a test driver for the Marussia F1 team, was conducting straight-line aerodynamic tests in the Marussia MR01, powered by a Cosworth Vi8 engine. While returning to the pits, the car suddenly accelerated. The car crashed into the rear of the team truck. The impact was precisely at the driver's head. Maria survived but suffered catastrophic injuries. She lost her right eye and suffered severe brain and facial damage. Despite this, De Villota underwent extensive rehabilitation and publicly stated that she wanted to continue living and working in motorsport. However, on October 11, 2013, in a hotel in Seville, Maria was found dead. The official cause was cardiac arrhythmia, directly related to neurological damage from the 2012 accident. This made her death one of the rarest and most frightening. The race didn't kill her immediately, but a year later. De Villota's case led to a review of safety procedures for testing and handling trucks in the paddock. These tragedies became the price at which motorsport learned to survive. Every mistake, every lost driver, forced changes to the rules, tracks, and cars. Modern Formula One has become safe for a reason. It's built on the lessons of those who didn't make it to the finish line. Mort was with you. Like and subscribe to the channel.